In the headlines, federal government declares Monday, May 1st public holiday to mark Workers' Day. All Progressive Congress denies zoning of 10th National Assembly leadership positions. 14 people dead, 5 injured in Bauchi auto crash. And on the international scene, 12 dead as Russian missiles hit Ukraine cities. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the news in full. The federal government has declared Monday, 1st of May as public holiday to mark this year's Workers' Day celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Arigbe-Shola, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government. He congratulated workers across the country on this year's celebration. Arigbe-Shola commended workers for their hard work, diligence, and sacrifice, noting that their efforts are largely responsible for the greatness of the country and the respect Nigeria now commands in the Committee of Nations. He therefore enjoined the workers to imbibe the culture of productivity, saying the end of work is productivity. Ahead of the International Workers' Day, which is usually celebrated on May 1st worldwide, the Apex Labour Union in the country, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), has organized a pre-day May lecture themed workers' rights and socio-economic justice. Noel Samson was there and now reports.
There are 4 interrelated principles of human rights and social justice, which are equity, access, participation, and rights. The fact that many may not be aware of this underscores the importance of the intellectual activity scheduled ahead of the May Day celebration.
It's straightforward. Workers' rights is what the struggle is about. Socio-economic justice is the expectation at the end of that struggle. So it's to check where are we, where do we expect to go, what is the process or our capability to get to that point. So how can we come together to give clear thoughts to the process that can lead us to ensuring socio-economic justice in the world of work, in our community, in our country, while protecting the rights of the worker, even outside the world of work.
The guest lecturers highlighted the significance of a welfare state when it comes to protecting the rights of workers and the importance of investing in people.
3 areas of missing gaps. Sometimes these rights are not well articulated, clear. Some of them are vague and are cut back. Second is that the political economy frustrates effective enforcement of these rights. So I have argued that for workers to have very efficient access or enjoyment of these rights, effective, they need to have a welfare state. A welfare state is a state whose fundamental ideology and values and processes focuses on the well-being of the people.
The means of production provide the basis of dominance of one group by another. In this case, workers are dominated. You generate wealth, you produce, yet you have no control over what you produce. And one way this has been solved in some countries is that the public institutions that provide this basis of dominance should be socialized. Labour Congress must insist that henceforth, any public institution that will be privatized, workers must be involved in the decision process of privatizing most of these things. Because it's a commonwealth. It's the right of Nigerian citizens. And then when they are selling these public institutions, workers must also have a share.
Without human rights, there can be no sustained peace, stability, protection from harm, nor equality, democracy, and a space to speak up. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on politics, the President-elect Bola Tinubu has charged the All Progressive Congress (APC) governors to work with the party's leadership and lawmakers on the election of principal officers of the incoming 10th National Assembly. According to a statement issued by Tunde Rahman, one of the aides of Tinubu, on Thursday in Abuja, gave the tax when the governors under the aegis of Progressives Governors Forum, PGF, visited him. The president-elect told the governors and former governorship candidates of the party that whether they were returned elected or not, the incoming administration belonged to all of them. Tinubu expressed gratitude to God that he, as the first Muslim minority from the southwest, got the blessing of Allah to be elected as president. The chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu, and governor of Kebbi State, who led his colleagues to Tinubu's residence, said the visit was to congratulate Tinubu on his election victory and extend goodwill to him over the end of Ramadan fast.
In expressing his thoughts in the Renewed Hope Manifesto, he told the world what he's promising. He had been on campaign trails across the country, and he has expatiated on that. So, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has offered renewed hope for the nation, and I believe we will see more of it.
We came to see him for two reasons. One, to welcome him back to the country, to pay Salah homage, and also brief him on the assignment he gave us. And the meeting went very well, and the conversation will continue. The agenda of the Governors Forum is to ensure that we key into the vision of the incoming president.
Everything that he will require, that will enable him deliver to his promises during campaign, we will always support that.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress, APC, says it is yet to zone the leadership of the 10th National Assembly to any region. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, the party said its attention has been drawn to versions of zoning arrangements for the 10th National Assembly leadership positions in circulation in sections of social media. According to the brief communique, the APC said such zoning arrangements did not emanate from the party and as such should be disregarded. The party further noted that any decision made in this regard will be duly communicated via the party's official information channels. And on security, fewer than 14 persons lost their lives in a ghastly motor accident at Zangoro village along Bauchi-Darazo Road. The sector commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, in Bauchi State, Yusuf Abdullahi, disclosed this in a road traffic crash RTC report on Thursday in Bauchi. He said 5 other persons sustained varying degrees of injuries in the crash which occurred on Thursday. According to him, the incident involved one Golf 3 wagon car and one private Chevrolet car. The commander attributed the crash to speed violation, adding that personnel of the Corps cleared the scene of the accident, as well as recovered 73,007 phones, 1 power bank, and 4 small handbags. Abdullahi said the corpses of the deceased and the injured had been referred to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, for medical attention and identification. Meanwhile, the Plateau State Police Commissioner Bartholomew Onyeka on Friday visited the scene of the tanker explosion that occurred around Bauchi Junction in Jos North local government area of the state. Trust TV on Thursday reported that 13 people were killed while several others were injured in the incident. A number of vehicles, tricycles, and shops were also burnt during the incident. While assessing the level of damage caused by the explosion, the Plateau State Commissioner of Police Bartholomew Onyeka frowned at the incident, which left some FRSC personnel dead and, commiserated with families to the deceased.
When we got information of a trailer that is loaded with diesel coming from the town and heading to Bauchi axis. So on getting to this Bauchi junction, unfortunately, the front side of the truck went off while the back now fell. and about 13 persons that were burned beyond recognition also. And 10 people that were injured have been taken to various hospitals in the state for medical attention. Rescue people, take them to hospital, but instead people resorted to attacking them. What do we gain from all these kind of things? It is not good. Please, we want to call on the good people of Plateau State. This is not a good one.
The Plateau State Governor-elect, Caleb Mutfwang, has commiserated with families who lost their loved ones in the Thursday tanker explosion in Jos. Mutfwang, in a statement signed by Gyang Bere, Special Assistant on Media to the Governor-elect, on Friday in Jos, expressed sadness over the incident that also led to loss of property worth millions of naira. The governor-elect assured citizens of the incoming administration's commitment to restructuring the state toward providing more roads for free flow of traffic in Jos and environs. Meanwhile, the Gombe State Command of the Nigeria Police has arrested 9 suspected criminals over alleged kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, armed robbery, and possession of illegal firearms. Parading the suspects at the Gombe State Command headquarters on Thursday, the police public relations officer in the state, Mahid Maazu Abubakar, said 2 kidnapped victims were rescued unhurt. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
These suspects are alleged masterminds of various offenses, including kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, attempts to commit culpable homicide, and armed robbery. The police command said it has made significant progress in curbing crime while protecting lives and properties across the state.
Police operatives swung into action using intelligence platform traced the hideouts of the suspected kidnappers on the 19th of April 2023. The tactical teams, in collaboration with hunters, raided the kidnappers' den, where they successfully arrested the above suspects and rescued the 2 victims unhurt. The exhibits recovered include 7 cows, 4 donkeys, 19 sheep, 10 goats, 1 techno handset, chain and padlock.
20-year-old Abdul Majid Muhammad of Hayin Kwarim Misau was arrested on allegations of armed robbery. Residents of Hayin Kwarim Misau accused the suspect of breaking into 6 houses using cutlasses and knives to rob his victims.
I theft
the phone to get some money to buy clothes for Salah. I raided about 3 houses in our neighborhood and stole people's phones while they were asleep.
10
mobile phones were recovered by the police. Danjuma Kabiru is one of the lucky victims whose phones were recovered from the suspect. I noticed that the man was bleeding while he took my phones in the night. I used that to track him. His neighbor also confirmed that. I recovered 1 phone from the 3 phones he took from me.
Leaders
of Hayin Kwarim Misau who lamented the high rate of robbery in the community are relieved following the arrest of the suspect, who they describe as a notorious criminal in the area.
We come to realize that most of the activity being carried out there are from within. That is, children of the dwellers of that environment. So we try to feed them one after the other out.
The suspects are expected to be arraigned in court for trial as soon as the police conclude their investigations. While restating its determination to fight crime, the Gombe Command called for continuous collaboration from residents. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at why FCT residents prefer second-hand products. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. And here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you Federal Government declares Monday, May 1st, a public holiday to mark Workers' Day. And All Progressive Congress denies zoning of 10th National Assembly leadership position. Now moving on to other stories, President Muhammadu Buhari has said the efforts of the armed forces in tackling the security challenges, especially in the northeast of the country, have so far been effective, despite the fact that a large number of terrorists have been decimated. The president says the challenges are far from over. He spoke at the parade for representation of colors to new army units and to those whose colors have been worn out. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The trooping and presentation of colors is a time-honored ceremony of the Nigerian Army, dating back to 1863, when the company designated for Nigeria moved from Ghana, then known as the Gold Coast. To start off the ceremony, President Buhari, in full Nigerian Army regalia, inspects the parade. It is a long-standing custom of the military to confer colors on units in recognition of their achievements in combat, training and service to the society. 53 colors are due for retirement, while 28 colors will be presented to new army units. 81 units are participating in this parade. President Buhari notes some of the achievements of the armed forces in addressing the challenges of insecurity.
The nation's security situation was greatly challenged by the activities of violent non-state actors. Today, I am pleased to specifically note that the situation has tremendously improved, and I wish to also proudly highlight that we have made remarkable progress in the fight against insurgents, militants, oil bunkerers, kidnappers, and other criminal elements in the country. This administration has achieved remarkable transformation of the military in the areas of fighting power, training, operations, manpower, remunerations, and medical services.
A number of the new units that have just been presented with regimental colors were established to tackle emerging security challenges. From this Eagle Square, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The purchase of second-hand goods is not on the increase, or should I say, not only in the Federal Capital Territory, but across the nations. Now, Trust TV Kabir Lawal takes a look at the increase in purchase of second-hand goods in the FCT and what may be driving the huge patronage. The report.
Second-hand goods used to be an alternative for new ones, mostly among low-income earners, as they are always more affordable. Patronage was relatively low, since many Nigerians could not afford not too exorbitant new ones. However, due to the economic situation of the country, second-hand goods are now being patronized not just because they are affordable, but because the purchasing power of many Nigerians has been whittled down by inflation.
The second-hand materials presently in this country is more solid than the current materials they are importing for us now. That is why we are going into for the second-hand material products. Yes, really, because of the quality. And it's what we are doing majority, at least 80% of our products here is what we form by former iron and steel products than the new ones. Because if you watch the fabrication, it's not as standard as the former ones we used to get in our local markets.
So I trust on the person I want to sell it, so there's no problem with that. But like, if you don't know the person, because this life now, this Nigeria now, things are very hard somehow.
Market in the Federal Capital Territory explained that the most indigenous companies don't produce durable goods. Hence, the resolve by many to patronize second-hand foreign goods, which they say last longer.
So company
One of the reasons why people patronize second-hand products here is because of its quality. The quality differs and makes it stand out compared to the new ones. Some companies don't have consistency in terms of standard.
That is why they go for the second-hand goods. People patronize second-hand product as a result of the economic hardship in the country. Most goods are being brought here for sale, not because it is obsolete, but due to one financial constraint being faced by the sellers. Some buyers said most times they are lucky to buy goods from those that are traveling outside the country or those that have problems that need urgent financial attention. Most people sell their goods, especially when they are traveling out of the country. The seller will call on us to estimate the amount of goods, which will, of course, will not be sold at exorbitant prices. And that's where we make our little stipend to keep food for me and my family. The purchase of second-hand goods, many believe, is on the increase in the country as a result of the economic hardship being faced by the people in the country. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In business, Nigeria's economy continues to be weighed down by inflation and drop in oil revenue. But investments in the halal sector could generate $1.6 billion annually to help build up the economy in 4 years. A report launched on Thursday indicates that Nigeria is the second largest consumer market in Africa, with $1.7 billion spent on halal products and services, which makes it a huge domestic market for investments. The report, produced by Dar Al Halal Nigeria, a consultancy company in partnership with Dinar Standard, was launched on Thursday in Abuja. Here is the report.
Halal is an Arabic word that translates to permissible in English. Halal products are therefore commodities that adhere to Islamic law as defined in the Quran. The halal sector is categorized into 6 subsectors of food, fashion, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, travel, tourism, media and recreation. Presenting the report, the Chief Executive Officer, Dinar Standard, Rafi Udin Shiko, says the Nigerian consumer economy market for halal products and services is projected to grow at an estimated 10.7% annually.
As Her Excellency had mentioned already, is to provide a comprehensive view of the market opportunity for Nigeria and a roadmap to build awareness amongst all stakeholders, government, private sector, as well as investors and industry, to realize the potential that this has for Nigeria. Now let's look at Nigeria's situation. I shared with you the global picture. Nigeria today is the second largest consumer market of halal products and services in Africa. Your consumption market is $117 billion worth, estimated to grow at 10.7% CAGR through 2027 in these 6 sectors plus Islamic finance. So ladies and gentlemen, for Nigeria, this opportunity presents tremendous interest for foreign direct investments.
Stakeholders says there is an urgent need for Nigerians to take advantage of huge opportunities in the halal industry.
As we know, Nigeria is home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the world. And this presents a unique opportunity for businesses and investors to tap into the growing demand for halal products and services. The halal market in Nigeria is already one of the largest in the world, with domestic spending on halal economic products and services reaching $107 billion in 2022. The whopping figure is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 10.7% over the next 5 years.
Nigeria is the 11th largest exporter of halal products to Organization of Islamic Cooperation countries within the African region, with trade worth $379 million in halal products, which include food, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics.
On to the international scene. Russian strikes battered cities across Ukraine early Friday, killing at least 12 people in a barrage of missiles and drones that hit Ukrainian cities as Kyiv prepares an expected counter-offensive. The deadly attack included a strike on a residential building and came days after the leaders of Ukraine and China spoke by phone, with Chinese President Xi Jinping reportedly advocating peace negotiation. While Russia regularly bombed Ukrainian cities and infrastructures over the winter, the massive strikes had tailed off in recent months. Kyiv, which was among the cities targeted on Friday, had not been hit by missiles in more than 50 days. But most fighting is now taking place in the east for control of the industrial Donbas region, particularly the city of Bakhmut, which has been almost completely destroyed. Interior Minister Igor Klimenko said strikes on the town of Uman south of the capital, Kyiv, led to a total of 10 victims, while the mayor of the central city of Dnipro, Boris Filatov, earlier reported that 2 people had been killed. And lastly, in sports, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has congratulated the Nigerian Police Force multi-dexterous combat athlete PC Juliet Uka following a successful professional training tour and her win against South Africa's Crystal Van Wyk, who until the bout was undefeated in Extreme Fighting Championship, that is EFC 102. IGP Alkali Baba's congratulatory message was contained in a statement by Force Public Relations Officer Olumoyiwa Adejobi. The fight, which took place on Thursday, 13th April 2023 in Johannesburg, South Africa, was a 3-round bout, and Juliet showed all-around superiority to emerge the winner by unanimous decision of 30-26, 30-26, 30-27. Juliet also went on to defeat Claudia Vochong Shivavo of Cameroon on Saturday, 22nd April 2023. PC Juliet is one of 2 police female MMA fighters recently released by IGP Usman Alkali Baba for a 6-week professional training tour in Thailand. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.